How's it going, everybody? Just want to do another update video on my UZI build. I finally got a bolt from McKay Enterprises. As you can see, the semi-auto bolt, very nice quality, US made. And so from there I went ahead and finished up the receiver. I had to weld on the rear sight, the blocking bar, so that way you can't put a full auto bolt in, and also the front sight assembly, which was a little difficult trying to get it straight, but I think it did alright. Of course, I still got to grind down the welds a little bit, and clean it up and everything. And I got the D10 in there for the barrel assembly, or for the barrel nut and everything. So that's done. Everything else is pretty much done. The semi-auto feed ramp and the ejector, everything's all done and welded in. I had to drill the hole out for the rear sight for the pin and everything. All I'm missing is the spring for the plunger mechanism, that the button, so that way you can so it locks the top cover in place. A long time ago I accidentally lost that spring, so I got one order from D&D Sales. I got that ordered, and the semi-auto sear, and I also told him I wanted, which I think I was a little late because I ended up calling him back the next day because I forgot I needed the button for the selector, so that might be a little late. But hopefully it's going to be close together. So I ordered that, and also a 32, I believe it was, surplus UZI magazine. So, because I didn't have a magazine for this gun yet, so I went ahead and ordered a magazine for it. So yeah, pretty much all the welds and stuff are done, besides cleaning them up and everything, which I'm not going to do that until I actually test this gun out once it's together and working. And just so that way I know everything is good and reliable, and I don't have any problems. Then I'll go through, clean everything up, and then repaint it. I got the finish from D&D Sales, the spray can that they sell for it. I got that coming also. So and I still got to do the blocking bar in here. I need to weld in, so that way it won't go to full auto. But anyways, so yeah, I got all those parts coming. Hopefully it'll be here shortly, so that way I can actually completely finish this firearm. I got everything else done. The biggest thing that was putting me back on this build was this guy right here. They're so expensive and hard to come by. Finally got it, so I finally am getting all the small things done and cheap price items that I needed, and getting that ordered, so that way I can complete this gun finally. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the tripod, and I wanted to go ahead and put it together, and also show you, because I had a little trouble with the bolt mechanism, the assembly. I want to show you how basically you need to install it and everything, or as far as once you get it, it's in a bag of parts, so you of course need to know how to put it together. I couldn't find no good videos or no good information like on forums and everything, so I just kind of had to do a little trial and error, and I finally got it. One thing, of course, you use from your full auto bolt, you can use the extractor and also the pin, the net pin. Well, with the semi-auto kit, it comes with this piece right here, and then there's a little spring in there, so that's how that goes, and then this goes all the way through to lock it into place, and then and also for the extractor. So that's how you do that. Just make sure it looks, here's the left side, make sure it looks like that. Once you do that, you can use the full auto bolt, or full auto bolt recoil spring. You just have to break off that little buffer type thing in the back, and use the narrow end. Make sure you can push it in and it goes like that. That's the right way, because if you do it this way, you're pushing it in and it won't go through. It's too tight. So you need to make it so where that way it'll go through like that. So that way, or that's how you know that you got the right end in the bolt. And then as far as the striker assembly goes, well, this is the part I ended up messing up on. This part right here is the notch for the sear, so that goes towards the bottom. And then your firing pin, it's round, and then it's flat on top. So basically this flat portion is what you want to be towards the top of the receiver, towards the top cover. So you want it to be flat and then round on the bottom. And then this piece has a hole through it, and the firing pin has a hole through it. Then you just do the roll pin, punch it all the way through, and that locks this all assembly together. And then for the spring, there's only one way that goes in, because this one's a little more narrower than this end. So that's how that goes. And then from there, you can go ahead and put these two together. There's a little hole right there. That's where the firing pin goes. Slide that in, and should basically look like that. And then that's all complete. And then go ahead, and then there's of course the buffer that's in the back here. And I also did this wrong. There's on this plastic buffer, there's a more rough edge, like more, crappier look to it. It has a couple little holes, or like kind of from the plastic, like maybe when it was formed. Try to get a good view, but anyways, you can kind of see it right there. So that part I thought goes towards the back of the receiver, which it ends up needing to be towards the front. So I ended up having that backwards. Lost the spring here. So yeah, so once you put that in, that way, and then the nicer, smoother edge goes towards the back of the receiver. And then of course there's the blocking bar there. So, but then once you do that, then you can go ahead, take your recoil assembly, and then of course align it through in there first, and then just simply pull it back, and then you're done. And then go ahead and put your top cover on, which of course I already took off the little pawl and the spring in here, so that way it doesn't ratchet no more, because that was for full auto, for open bolt fire. And then so that's that. So now it's complete. Oh, of course minus the barrel, which, since I am basically, this is going to be a pistol, I do got the short barrel for it. The appropriate barrel for it. I believe it's like a 10.5 inch barrel or something like that, so there's that. Okay, so now it's nice and complete, and then pretty much everything's done. I'll go ahead and show you and function it. So it's cocked, and there it goes, it fired. Of course it's popping up because there's nothing holding the top cover. Now I'll do the reset. So that works, and the safety works. So yeah, so it's awesome. It's basically a completed gun, essentially, except for those little parts I need to actually finish it. But all the major things done to it, just all small little stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it like this, take it to the range once I get all the parts I need, and then put some rounds to it, and then see how it functions. And to do a real test, I'm not even gonna lubricate it or grease it up or nothing. I'm just gonna maybe just double check the barrel is clean and no obstructions, and then go ahead and test fire it. That's, I think, a real way of testing it to see how reliable this gun is. So I'll probably end up putting one box through it, and then maybe the next box I'll do a video making sure that it works, and then I'll do an actual video of it firing like this. And I think eventually down the road I am going to replace all the furniture on this gun, because it's very, very worn and flat. And actually I just noticed there's a crack and broken spot right here. So yeah, so once it's all done and functioning, then down the road I'm going to change out these grips and hand guards, and so that way I got some nice new looking grips on there, and of course finish it, and then clean up the welds and finish it, and then should be good. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, leave me a message. Thanks for watching.